Okay, good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests here. We didn't have any
Mhm.
So now, and thank you for coming to our meeting for tonight. And welcome to Malang Toastmaster Club, IP 2205, club number 04267671. Before the meeting start, I would like to remind you about the meeting rule, plus to, especially in the online, please turn on your camera. Also, please turn off your microphone if you don't speak. Now, as a Toastmaster community, I officially open the meeting for tonight. Since we don't have any guests here, let's start with decided or team for tonight. I will introduce about the team for tonight. And the team for tonight is about mental health. Mental health is a term they use to describe emotional, physical, and social well-being. And the quality of person's mental health is often measured by how adaptively they can cope with everyday situation. And mental health allows people to use their ability to to make decisions and play an active role in community. And do you know that people with suffers mental disorders die 10 until 20 earlier than general population. And most common case is that more than 700,000 people die because of suicide. So that's a really big number. However, there is a lot of activity to improve your mental health, such as doing your own hobby like video game, movie, read a book. However, there is one of the most thing for me to improve my mental health is by joining this community and meet with people here. So that's yeah, it's making me happy. And now I would like to ask some of you a question here. What activities do you do to release stress? Probably I want to ask to Anu, what do you do?
Hello everyone, am I visible? Yeah, I think one of the activities that I myself recently trying is to just writing, writing my thoughts about certain books that I read in this couple months back, and yeah, I think it's pretty challenging, but the satisfaction that you get after you and yeah, I think I would just like to say about the satisfaction that I personally get after I write things about the books that I read, and I think that helps quite a lot. And perhaps the only other physical thing that matters when it comes down to mental health is none other than just physical exercise. I believe that every single person is absolutely required to exercise daily. It is necessary and it will impact the quality of life that you have in your daily life. So I think that's all.
Okay, thank you very much. So, yeah, there's a lot of writing and exercise also really help you to reduce stress and also making your body stay fit all the time. Because during pandemic we stay only in our home without getting out, so doing some exercise can help you to become healthy as well. Now next I will want to ask to another in online. This is Tasmata Rena. What do you do to release your stress?
Am I audible?
Yep.
Okay, so thank you, Toastmasters Apri, for asking me this question because recently I got a lot of stress because starting this month I returned to office. Basically, the 2 years, half month ago, I am working in a hybrid setting, but right now I have to return to the office 100% day by day, and I have to deal with the traffic jam. And what I do to distress from the work and also the traffic in a day is by sharing stories or talking to my parents and my sister. So basically, sharing all your problems and talking and discussing with the family, I think that was one of the best way to distress from everything that is going around in your mind. Because parents is the people who are more experienced than us, so they can give us some advices. And my younger sisters is someone who is very upbeat and also cheerful, so she will always cheer me up whenever I'm feeling down. So that was all from me, Toastmasters Apri. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, I think sharing is caring for me. We can share a lot of things with our friends, with our mothers. Actually, it's some kind of therapy thing. My opinion, we can share our emotions on people. But if we have a lot of things that in our life, we can share to other people. Okay, I think that's all for my thing introduction. Let's move on to describe or again important. So in every meeting, Toastmaster meeting, we have three different sections. First is prepared speech section where the speaker, Toastmaster, will deliver their speech and improve their public speaking skill. And next is we have tableau session. It's for our members, whether you are a member or not, you can practice your impromptu speech, a speech that you do without any preparation for 1 to 2 minutes. And next is the most important section, which is evaluation session. This is the heart of Toastmaster meeting where we help our speaker to make improvement in their speech. Now, before we start our prepared speech session, I would like to call our general developer. It is Toastmaster Abdul. He is from the Ultimate Toastmaster Club. This is from Jakarta. So he actually from Malang, and I met him just a few months ago, and we met in face together back then. So I would like to call our general developer, Toastmaster Abdul, to introduce your team. So welcome, Toastmaster Abdul.
Thank you, Mr. President. And yeah, like what Toastmaster Afri just said, today I will be your general evaluator. And of course, in doing so, I'm not alone and will be assisted by a couple of my teammates. So hopefully, Timer, can you explain your role to all of us in this meeting?
Thank you, GE. Yes, thank you very much, GE. Hello, everyone. It's me again, Rena, and today I will be serving as your timer. The timer is the one who will notify the time allocation in your speech. We have a table topic session, prepared speech session, and also an evaluation session. So whenever my background changing into the green one for the table topic, it means that you have passed 1 minute. For the prepared speech, you have passed 4 minutes, and for the evaluation speech, you have passed the 2 minutes. And when my background changing into the yellow one, it means that 1 minute and 30 seconds for table topic speech, and also 5 minutes for prepared speech, and 2 minutes and 30 seconds for evaluation speech. And whenever my background turned red, it means that you have reached the maximum time allocation and you have to wrap up your speech, and you will be given a 30 seconds grace period. If you haven't finished your speech and my background turned red, then you will be given a 30 seconds grace period to wrap up your speech. Okay, that was all from me. Back to G.
Thank you, Timer, for your explanation. Toastmaster, Mr. Neighbor. You couldn't see. Toastmaster Rena, yeah, finally I can mention your name. I should bring my own notes. But anyway, on to our next role takers, which is grammarian. Do we have grammarian in the room?
Yes, I am here. Hello.
Okay, please explain your role.
Thank you, GE. Well, everyone, tonight I will be serving as your grammarian, and as a grammarian, I will pay close attention to your grammar usage. I will not every grammar mistake or awkward usage and also mispronunciation. But I will also take notes of interesting quotes that any of you say. And also the word of the day usage. And our word of the day today is sane, which means having a healthy mind and not mentally ill. An example of using this word is the only thing that keeps me sane after a hard day in the office is meeting my fellow Toastmaster. I will give my report when I was called by our GE at the end of our meeting. Thank you. Back to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Resita, for explaining your role as our grammarian today, and of course reminded us about the word of the day. And towards our next role is accountant. Do we have accountant in the room?
Yeah. That's me.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Toastmaster Ben, right?
Yep.
Please.
All right. So I'm the counter. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. The counter again. Most of us here are Toastmasters, so we know how weird this kind of evaluator role is, where we have to sit here and judge our little ticks and things that we do when we can't think of what to say. So your ums, ands, elongated words, all those kind of funny things. Better we just take a pause when we can't think of what to say. But I'm here to keep a tally of all of these little ticks and things. And you'll hear back from me at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Ben, for explaining your role as our accountant today. And is there any more role? Timer, grammarian? A table topic evaluator. Do we have TTE in our room? TTE, where are you?
Yes.
Okay, so please explain your role.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Nettie. Tonight I will be the table topic evaluator. My role here to help the table topic speaker to evaluate about their speech, and then I will help to give the good things and need to be improved, and also the whole concept of the table topic session. Thank you. Back to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nettie, for explaining your role as our TTE today. And I believe lastly I should explain my role. Okay, so as general evaluator, I will evaluate this totality of our hybrid meeting today, and I will give you my evaluation report later on during the evaluation session. And I believe that's all. I should give back the control to our Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you, our general evaluator. So that is for the introduction for general evaluator. Now we start our prepared speech session. And tonight we only have one speaker. I believe he is a new member from Surabaya Heroes Toastmaster Club, which is Toastmaster Sugiarto. And tonight he will be evaluated by my members, which is Toastmaster Adel is already in here. So I would like to call Toastmaster Adel to introduce Toastmaster Sugiarto project. So, yes.
Okay. So I'm Adelia, and I'm going to be evaluating Toastmaster Sugiarto. And this is actually his very first speech, and it's an icebreaker speech. And the purpose is for him to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. And the duration of the speech would be 4 to 6 minutes, with the title The Awkward Jomblo Toastmaster Sugiarto.
Okay, thank you Toastmaster Adelia. During the lockdown of COVID-19, I spend most of my time at home, and I usually use social media to communicate to people. I usually use Discord application to communicate to people, to talk with my friends online, and to talk to so many strangers online. And I still remember, I still remember there was one shocking moment when I was online on Discord application. I believe you guys already know what is Discord application, right? There was a shocking moment when I was talking with so many strangers on Discord application. It was on September 2021. I was having a conversation with so many strangers, but there was one stranger that he said something to me that makes me shocked. Yeah. During the conversation, he asked me like this. During the conversation, he asked me like this, uh, bro, I believe you are jomblo, or I believe you are single, or in bahasa Indonesia he said something like this, bro, ini kayaknya kamu jomblo ya, kalau dari cara ngomongnya sih. He said something like that to me. I was very shocked. How could a stranger who never talked to me before, who never know my identity, could easily understand, could easily know that I was jomblo at that time? And I was like, bro, how do you know that I'm jomblo? Or how do you know that I'm single? And then he was like, by the way you are speaking, you are so awkward, bro. You are very, very awkward. That's why I believe you are jomblo. He said something like that to me. And that was, man, I was so shocked. How could a stranger who never know me before, we never talked before, but he could easily know, he could easily identify that I was jomblo at that time. This moment really makes me shocked, and this could be a turning point in my life when I realized that there is something problematic with my public speaking, with my public speaking skill, with my public speaking style. So I was realized that I was jomblo at that time, not because I'm physically bad, but because my speaking skill is awful. So my fellow Toastmaster and guests, I'm here to improve my public speaking skill. I'm here to improve my formal and informal public speaking skill because I don't want people to think that I'm awkward anymore. Because I don't want people to think, to know that I'm single. I want to be elegant. My name is Sugiarto Mulyawan. You can call me Sugi. I'm from Pamekasan, East Java, but I'm currently living in Sleman, Yogyakarta because I'm studying here in University of Gajah Mada. I'm studying Magister of Science in Accounting. Right now, I'm second semester. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about accounting profession or accountant? A super boring profession, all related about money, about calculators, about financial statements. Many people think that accounting profession or accountant is super boring job and so-called behind the desk job, all about money. But this perception is actually for me is incorrect because accounting professions also need public speakings in their daily tasks. For example, accounting professions also related to tax consulting, business plan presentation, making decision about business. So, ladies and gentlemen, as an accounting student, I need to improve my public speaking skill as well. So, because accounting profession is not always related to calculating the money or preparing the financial report. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are three urgencies why I joined Toastmaster International. The first urgency is because I want to be a highly qualified accountant, and highly qualified accountant require effective public speaking skill. So that's why I'm here in Toastmaster International to improve my public speaking skill. And the second urgency is because I want to talk with my crush, with my best friend, with my friends, with my family elegantly. I don't want people to think that I'm awkward anymore. And the third urgency is because I'm an scholarship awardee. I get money from the country, so I have an obligation to use this money to improve my human capital, human capability. So I think joining Toastmaster International is kind of investment for me. Ladies and gentlemen, those are three urgencies why I joined Toastmaster International. Actually, there is persons who indirectly influenced me to join Toastmaster International. He is Toastmaster Jeffrey Laksana, the president of Surabaya Heroes. He gave me so many information about Toastmaster International. Then I commit research about Toastmaster International, and here I am to join Toastmaster International. So back to the story that I was called the awkward jomblo. Even though I have so many reasons why I joined Toastmaster International, the most important reasons is because I don't want people to think that I am awkward. I want people think that I'm elegant, and I don't want people to think that I am the awkward jomblo anymore. Thank you. That's all for me.
Oh, nice speech from Treasure Speed. Upward Jomblo. Thank you, Hadi Jomblo. Yeah, working on your public speaking from upward to the good public speaking is like a process, and I think we need to improve it to improve, because I also remember that when I first time joined Toastmasters, I really awkward person. I can speak to anyone, and yeah, after I joined about 3 years, I can improve my communication so that I can not become awkward, but sometimes I still awkward just a little bit. So yeah, I think that is for the only one speaker for tonight, and our next session, which is the most exciting session, which is our topic, where our people here can join in this exciting session. So for the topic session, we have Toastmaster Jasmine. Toastmaster Jasmine, are you ready to present your exciting session?
Yes, I am. I just need to check with you, Toastmaster Apri, how much time do we have, or how much time have we allocated now that we have this
Probably
speaker?
about 20 minutes for.
So that's about everybody online now and those available there. You may be speaking off the cuff as well. So let's just carry on with that. Allow me to share my screen if I may. Then you can take a look at how the tabletop is supposed to be done today. Okay, here we are. So welcome to Table Topics. Well, today, as you know, our theme is on mental health. We will then go through the steps once again. Step one is to pick a number from 1 to 8. Initially, I was told that I could have at least 8 topics at hand, so that if anyone wants to participate, we can do that. Step two, then you will have approximately 30 seconds once you've chosen the topic, and once you've read the topic, it will be shown on screen as well. Step three, you'll have 2 minutes to present your speech, or as they say nowadays, spill the tea if you like. And number four, do regard the timer, so always keep an eye on the timer, because the green light, as she mentioned earlier, for you guys will be a 1 minute, which is a safe zone. Yellow light or the yellow background will be 1.5 minutes, and when she has the red background on, you have just hit your 2 minute mark. And even if you haven't really finished, please wrap it up with 30 seconds. And finally, step number 5, the table topic evaluator will then offer nice and juicy evaluation at the end of your speech, towards the end of the meeting. So at least we learn from there as well. So today we'll do slightly different. The first participant will go as I've mentioned, but for the next or the following participants, you will then have 2 choices. You can carry on picking another number and make a new speech with a new topic, or you can use the same topic, but you want to attack it from a different angle. So because sometimes we've heard of a topic and we thought there's only one way to present it, but if you have another idea, then we at least have another opinion of how you can present a speech based on the same topic. So this is how we'll do it tonight, with a slight difference. So here we go. I do not know how to randomly pick you guys, but that's all there is. I think we will let our Speaker Sugiyato to take a short break. We'll come back to you a little later because he's just spoken. So for the rest of you who have not spoken at all, so this is your chance to speak. Why don't we start with Adelia? Shall we start with Adelia? She spoke a very little. She introduced you a little earlier, Sugiyato.
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Alright. Okay.
You're the first hybrid person on the other side of the screen for me. So would you like to pick a number from 1 to 8?
Okay, I want to make sure before I start. So I'm
Yes.
gonna pick a random number.
That's right. Since you're the first one.
Right. Okay. Sure. I think I'll pick number 4.
4. Okay, may I know why you picked number 4? Why do you like number 4? Is there something in particular you like number 4?
Yeah, because well, in my family there are 4 children, and I'm the first, so it's kind of
Okay, so reflecting on your sibling combination. All right, here's topic number 4 based on mental health. World Health Organization or WHO, this definition of health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Do you then think all of us are not completely healthy? Are we missing some parts? And if you do think so, why? So once again, WHO or the World Health Organization has defined health as such: a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being all put together, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So do you think all of us here or thereabouts are not completely healthy? And if so, why?
okay. I'm gonna be like off the camera for a while because I'm gonna understand the question first.
Sure, you have 30 seconds to read it, figure it out, and once you're ready, the timer will start.
All
Once-
right. Okay, so
You're ready? Okay, let me stop sharing screen so we can see you first.
okay, so I believe that what is being asked in the question is more about like a term, right? So we're talking about whether or not we can call someone healthy, and I believe that just as any of other terms, the definition of each terms is really subjective to like each one of us. So I believe that defining someone that they're healthy, it's not merely the fact that we're not sick, but it's more of like a complete, what is it, like a complete, like the fact that we, okay, can you like please put the question again in the chat box if you don't mind?
Okay, sure.
All right. Okay. All right. So, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Okay, now that I reread the question, I think I'm gonna pick another side of the answer. I believe that, I don't know, the words complete physical and mental and social being, the word complete, it doesn't sit right with me. And for example, let's say someone who is, like, I'm sorry to say this, but like maybe losing a leg or like losing a part of their body. And that fact alone is not making them someone that is unhealthy. So it's the term healthy, it comes more about how we believe that we are making the most of our physical, despite regardless whether or not we are complete. So I believe that's where I'm standing on this question. Thank you. Back to our table topic master.
Thank you. Wow, it's not an easy task to approach mental health to start with. Never mind about complete health, where we talk about the physical, the mental, and the social well-being put together. So I suppose a balance somewhere would be all right. I don't think it could be 100% of each. So this is where we all need to define where we are standing from health point of view. So thank you very much there, Adelia. Why don't you pick the next person you would like to hear from? Since you have one more task to go before you actually leave the screen. Who would you like to listen to?
I believe that I picked someone with the similar name as mine. It is oh, it's gone. Okay, I will go with our.
Well, I saw Ben put up his hand, but it's up to you, Adelia. You choose.
Okay, sorry Ben, but I think I'm feeling Toastmaster trainer.
Okay. Well, you're next, Ben. Online. All right, Reina. You're next. Where are you, Reina?
Yes,
All right,
here I am.
Okay, so your choice would be to either choose the same topic, speak on it, or choose another number with a different topic.
I will choose the different number with the.
All right. Sure. You have the 1 to 8, except number 4. So
I will choose number 5.
number 5, which is just the next slide. Thank you for that. All right. Without mentioning names, do you know of someone who may need help in the area of mental health? Is it yes or no question? And well, if it's a yes, describe your observations of that person for us to identify. And what can you do about it? So if it's a no, then you may have to imagine this so-called person that we talk about and what kind of mannerisms or what kind of observations you can make of a person who needing help with mental health. Is that all right?
Yes.
Yep. So give yourself a few seconds to think about it. And when you're ready, the timer will start.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ready?
Yes. Okay, so if I have to mention someone who I think have the problems with the mental health, then I will pick someone from my working place. So why I think that he has some kind of mental health disorder, because he is someone who is having the position, quite high position at the office. And when you are on the leadership, in the leadership positions, I have always thought that you will be someone who is very humble, and you are open to discussion to every person in the working place. But this special someone has the audacity to be a very overconfident, and he also would not want to discuss with the person that he has the issue with. And whenever he started a discussion with someone who he thinks will hinder his job, he will absolutely try his best to keep this person that he spoke to lost his or her insanity. So it will be very challenging for the other parties to stay sane whenever we have a conversation with him, because he will always put us down. And whatever we say to him, he will always have the counter, the opposites of what we said, even though what we said is also something that is written in the office or in the company's policy. So yeah, if you ask me to point or to mention one person, then I will gladly to mention him. I hope he stays in, even though so that every person, everyone around him will stay sane also. That was all back to TVM.
Thank you. That's a good wish for all of us, or in your company particularly. Somehow, wherever we are, whether you're in school, like Sugiarto, or when you are working somewhere, chances are we may or may not have encountered somebody similar to what Rena has just encountered. So good luck with that. And what can we do? Not so easy, yes, because we are declaring here at this point in time that we are not experts of mental health issue in this meeting today. We're giving our opinions as freely as we best know it, without disclaiming that anyone else of a knowledge of any better than we do. So that's the situation we are facing right now. All right, Ben. So you seem like you are ready. All right. So with your mic on, can you choose a number, please?
I pick 3.
You pick number 3. Okay, here comes number 3. This is a little bit cheeky question. Are you mentally healthy? Tell us why. Why do you consider yourself mentally healthy? Ben, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master. Tough question. Some days I would say yes. Some days I would say no. Now, one thing, when I was younger, 18 years old, I was in the military, right? And I went to Iraq. So the idea of seeing certain things, a lot of people would say I'm probably not mentally healthy. When you see the negative side of war and kind of what happens, it doesn't ever escape you. So some of these kind of things in life, you kind of go through life and you think about, and you see things in a more negative light. And most people would say that's not really a healthy way to look at things, not a really healthy perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But as you kind of grow and grow and grow and get a little bit better in understanding of yourself, you understand your triggers and kind of what kind of situations can irritate you. Even though you're dealing with some kind of mental health issues that can affect you negatively, the more you're self-aware of what makes you the way you are, the better it kind of becomes. That's one of the things. Like when we have depression, a lot of us are depressed for something. A lot of us have had some kind of traumatic experience in life,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't really get affected by it every single moment of every single day. But there are those moments where they come to light. And how do you deal with yourself at that moment? And if people see you dealing with it in a negative way, oh, that person's mentally ill. But the idea is that as you gotta get to the point where you learn about yourself and learn about the situations that make you uncomfortable and bring up bad memories. And once you start dealing with that, either by talking to someone, a counselor, a therapist, or something like that, or a good friend, a parent, something where you can figure out what is causing your problem. Because you can't hide it. You can't bury it. You have to face it head on. And guess what? It's super uncomfortable. And once you get over it, you'll be a little bit better. Doesn't always go away, but you'll get a little bit better. So thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you. So as I said earlier, none of us here could claim that we are an expert in mental health, but listening to each other, we may learn a little bit better after tonight. Thank you for sharing that, Ben. What we need to know next will be, who do you choose? Who do you want to listen to amongst all the nice people on this meeting here today? There are 2 there in the 7 chicken room, and the others are online. So who would you like to listen to?
I'm going to go with Adelia.
Adelia won the first round, right?
But since we have a person that was in person, and then we have one on
Oh, there's
screen.
another one online. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, Adelia.
There is another lead. Hi, Adelia. Are you ready? You have your mic off. If you can switch on your mic, Adelia. Dear. We call you Dear, right? Is it easier if you call you Dear?
She looks frozen.
Somewhat. She doesn't seem to be able to respond to me immediately. Would you like
She
to pick
doesn't blink.
Yeah,
We tried to
she's
pick someone else.
playing
Well, she sorted our own issue. There you go. She's
I was-
speaking now. Are you
I was
okay,
trying to do the
dear?
stereotype.
Can we talk to you? For you, can you speak? Can you present the table topic today? Dear, hi. No, okay. Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yes. We just suggested, will you like to be a presenter at Table Topics? Are you
Sorry.
ready?
Sorry, my internet is unstable right now.
That's a very good excuse. We'll leave you we'll leave you for the moment. Sort it out
I'll
a
go
little
with
bit. Yeah.
I'll go with Apri then.
Apri, okay.
President.
Finally.
Live from Malang, Apri. So there you go. You just have to pick a number.
Number
You
7.
can go with the same topic if you like, or you try to pick number 7. Did you say number 7?
Go with this.
Are you mentally healthy? Yeah, that's right.
Do you want this one, or do you want number 7 you
I
mentioned?
think I can do this one.
Okay, there you go. This is your topic. Are you mentally healthy yourself? And tell us why. At least a different approach from Ben. Thank you.
Talking about mental health is something that we experience in our life because most people that is, for example, most people who is successful, I do believe that they are happy because there is a lot of responsibility. And as you can see, if you get rich and you have a business, for example, you also have a lot of responsibility. And if you cannot keep up with those responsibilities, then you can be mentally sick, right? And in order to get back to be healthy mentally, you need to make a balance between your life, work-life balance. For example, there is probably some of you know that some have Ikaki style that we need to balance about work and about our life. And if we lost one of those aspects, I do believe that it's really hard to make our mental become healthy. So for me, for myself, I try to make my mental healthy as high as I can. For example, I join this community, which is can make me more happy and eventually can make my mental more healthy. I can doing my own hobby like hiking and playing video game as one of my technique to make myself become happy. And right now, I think I'm pretty happy enough mentally. And yeah, it's really challenging because sometimes I get sick, I get sad, depressed, but that kind of thing have some things that we can prevent. We can do our own hobby and make myself, this can make myself become happy. Yeah, if you ever feeling sad right now, I suggest you to do something that really make you happy so that you can also make your mental happy. I think that's all for my answer. Back to our master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Apri. All right. So it's now up to you to pick another speaker. Maybe maybe last 2 speakers. Yes, we still have time. So can you pick some? Okay, here we go. Still live from Malang. All right, here we go. Well, we can't have that same topic, so you may have to choose a number because it's already been repeated once. So here we go. You'll have to choose from other numbers that's available. Not 3, not 4, not 5.
Not 3, not 4, not 5. What about number 7? Is it?
Okay, we go down the line. Number 7.
Oh my god. What is that?
Okay, let's not be stressed out about it. It's just a question. Why do you think mental health issue is becoming a bigger concern and issue right now as compared, say, 10 years ago? Do you think there are more mental triggers now than before? And what are they if there are more mental triggers right now, particularly for this generation that you are in right now? So do you think mental health issues becoming a bigger concern right now as compared to, say, 10 years ago? And is it because there are more mental health triggers than before, particularly in your generations? All right, so here we go. When you're ready, think about it. When you're ready, let the timer know.
Oh, it's a hard question. Anyway, thank you for the question still, Tabletop Masters. I personally believe that, of course, I'm not here trying to representing my generation or whomever. I can only speak to myself, but I believe that for the past 2 or 3 years, mental health is certainly the #1 concern for not only the young generations, but for all of us because of the effect of lockdown, pandemic, and stuff like that. Stress is increasing, at least on my side. Now, for me personally, I thought that, well, because of my personality type is introverted, and I thought of myself back then, actually early 2020, when things already started to lock down, I thought that, well, it's fine. I mean, I rarely go outside anyway, right? So who cares? However, after years, as everyone else, I believe that every single person has their own breaking points. You gotta meet people at the end of the day, right? You can't just be in your room the whole time. And that's when I realized that I'm not gonna deny this mental health concern that actually hits me as a person during this lockdown. So because of that, I think I agree with the statement that you give in the slides. It is certainly a real issue that all of us need to tackle, and one of them is actually just meet people in real life and be happy about it. Just enjoy all the ebb and flow that exists, and yeah, do something that you like the most, like here meeting with fellow Toastmasters in Malang. So yeah, I think that's all in my opinion. Back to you, Timothy.
Thank you. Well, one last task before you go. Pick someone else, please.
Okay. Oh, should I pick someone else?
Yes, please. Just one more.
What about what about our first speaker today?
Ha!
Let's
That
get back
is.
to you.
I guess you have enough break for the moment from the speech you have given. Yes, thank you, Renato. We'll come back to the next speaker. Thank you so much. Just for your information, yes, mental health has been a bigger issue now. I mean, I think the pandemic or the lockdown has taken a bad rap for it. But beyond that, I think the whole overall issue of the awareness of mental health has become quite critical. I mean, I returned home to Singapore and I went into a workshop to talk about youth at risk, and the numbers that were shown to me were about suicides and depressed kids. There was just quite shocking for me myself. And we are from a small country. I can imagine a country like Indonesia, which is even much larger. Yes, the population in terms of proportions. So there you go. Just a little mental note there about why mental health is a bit more of a concern right now than before. All right, Sugiarto. So would you like to pick a number then? Or would you like to tackle the same question? Which one would you rather do?
Okay, thanks. I think I would like to pick a number.
All right.
Number two.
Let's
Number
take
two.
Let's take a chance then. Why not? Topic number 2 coming up. Here we go. There are deadly toxins in our body, and these are the top 5 we talk about. 1 is complaining. Number 2 is criticizing. Number 3 is being negative. Number 4 is making excuses. Number 5 is gossiping. So do you agree with this statement? Can we cut out these toxins from our life to become healthy? Now, it's your opinion, all right? Again, these are the 5 deadly toxins in our body. Complaining is 1, criticizing, being negative, making excuses, and gossiping. So do you agree with this? Can we cut out these out of our lives to become healthy? So think about it for a while. When you're ready, let the timer know. You ready?
Okay, I think I'm ready to answer this question. First of all, thank you for the question. I I do agree that those mentioned those mentioned list is toxin to our body, because our body, the state of our body health is related to our physical, our psychological state. For example, like being negative, I think being negative is really toxic to our body, because when we are negative, when we are feeling being negative, all we think, all our perspective about everything, even though it is little things, it's always negative. When we think about, when our perspective is negative, then our body respond to our environment is also negative. So I think our perceptions about something, when it becomes negative, then our body also respond it in a negative way. So that's the first. And the second is about, for example, is complaining. Sometimes I can say that complaining it's good thing, but sometimes I can say that complaining is very bad to our body. When it comes to complaining too much, it will become toxin to our body. We can complain, but not complaining too much, in my humble opinion. Why I do agree that we can complain, because yeah, we can face so many stressors in our daily lives, and we can complain about it. It's okay as a human being. We can complain about so many things, but don't be too much complaining, because when we get too much, then it will affect our perspective. So complaining is related to our perspective about those stressor, I think. So complaining is good, but not too much. So what, and about gossiping, and I do believe that gossiping is really toxic to our body, because it is also related to our perspective about something. It is always negative. So that's from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope social media hasn't gone into that category of all those little five statements there, because sometimes one of the primary concern of all of us is the social media reflecting us the way we are. And sometimes we depend too much on it rather than making our own self-evaluation. All right, one last question to Apri. Do we still have time, or because we still have a few who has not spoken? What do you think?
I think we are already over time. So
Sorry?
Yeah. Maybe we can one more.
All right, here we go. One more. So, Sugiyato, it's up to you to pick one other person. There's still three who has not spoken yet. So, your choice.
Okay, I think I will pick Toastmaster Rasita.
There we go, our grammarian. Right. So, welcome. Would you like to answer the same question in your own version, or would you like to pick another question from the numbers given?
I'll pick number one.
Ah, okay. Another one taking a big chance to number one. You know, number one can be very dangerous, right? Okay, number one. Top on the list of mental health issue is managing depression. We are not avoiding depression. It's about managing it. Now, give us your thoughts on how depression can come about in your circle, in your level of environment, and how we can manage it. All right. So the top of the list of mental health issue is managing depression. Give us your thoughts on how depression can come about in your circle, your level of friends, and how we can manage it. So give it a thought before you speak. Let us know once you're ready.
Thank you, table topic master. I think none of your question is easy, so all right. And I like your question because it kind of prepared me in case I came across depression, and I think one cause of it could be my job. My job is quite stressful because we have, you know, we have clients that they don't know what they want, but they want it to finish yesterday. That kind of clients, and yeah, it will be quite stressful at times because you know you cannot make it on time, but your clients is already like complaining at you and your boss is try his best to push you, well, that could be the cause of it. But fortunately, I have a very good boss. He is very kind. He knows what made us become stressful, and I think how to manage it is first pick a good leader for your team, and the second one is try to learn how to say no when you know it's not possible to do it in a certain time. Just say no, we cannot do it, let's try another way, or let's try to maybe seek for help. Well, yeah, I think that's the most important thing. In my case, it's managing your time and try to say no. Thank you, Table Topic Master.
Most welcome. Wow, here we are at the point. So, if like Sugiyato, you're still in school, you are listening to all these people who are working. How do you feel? The work life isn't as idyllic as you can imagine. Yes, sometimes you get bosses like Toastmaster Rina. Sometimes you get good ones like Toastmaster Rosita, who are quite understanding or are able to say no to clients who are unreasonable in that sense. So here we are. Be ready for that, Sugiyato, because this is what working life is all about. So this rounds up our table topics for today with a focus on mental health. As we said earlier, these are all our opinions. None of us here claim to be an expert in mental health, but I believe, as we've just heard all these other opinions, we do learn from each other and get a little assurance. There's nothing we can do about Toastmasters Rena's boss unless we switch jobs to join the Toastmaster Rosita in her employment. Otherwise, this is how we will have to deal with it and how we manage our situation. I don't think we can completely be absolved of any situation that can contribute to our mental health. But as long as we can manage it, I'm sure we'll be all right. Thank you very much for today. So I'll pass it back to now the Tom Toastmaster Apri.
All right, thank you. That's my Jadni. That was really interesting sessions that we can learn together how to overcome our mental health so that we can become happy. So yeah, I would like to congratulate our participants who join couple topic session because it can help you to improve your skill. And also don't worry, we will have topics evaluation if you feel that your improvement skill is not really good enough. And now let's move on to the next session, which is the essence of Toastmaster meeting, which is evaluation session. And for the evaluation session, I would like to call our general evaluator, Toastmaster Aldo, to lead the session. So please welcome Toastmaster Aldo.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Now, I would like to call upon as our only evaluator. So please just welcome Toastmasters.
All right, thank you so much, our general evaluator. So, Toastmaster Sugiyato, congratulations for completing your very first project in Toastmaster. Give a round of applause, everyone. Okay, and in this evaluation that I'm going to give, I'm going to separate it into two parts. The first thing is the things that I think that you did awesomely, and then the second part would be the things that I believe that you can improve for your future projects. Okay, the first one is I noticed that you have successfully applied the basic structure of a speech, and I noticed that you open your speech straightforwardly, not like I have heard a few icebreakers that they started their speech by introducing their names and I'm from here, I'm from that, and I love that you didn't do that. That you started straight with your content, and I love that. The second thing is that you were standing up, which is quite actually a simple thing, but it's often missed by even by like the Toastmasters who are doing the later projects. And it gave you more freedom and more space to show your body gestures, and also, especially when you're doing your dialogues, you also use some dialogues there, and it's a pretty smart thing to do. And next, for the second parts of my evaluation, it would be the things that you could do better. The first one is use one main story. And as we know, human brains, we are as humans, we are lazy, okay? And it's already hard for us to remember one message, let alone two or more than that. So yeah, remember to like use only one main story. And then recall what I said before, it's stay away from explicit introduction. So you don't need to mention like your name, like I'm Sugiarto, this and that, because like the audience already knew that when I called you to the stage. So you might want to skip that. And also when you mentioned that you're in your second semester, and you're from Pamekasan, you're studying in Yogyakarta now, it's you can say that like implicitly, okay, like rather than saying that, you can start your story by last year when I joined university, I blah 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 blah. So like we can get to know you better with your story, like without you explicitly saying that. And the next thing is that you can give a stronger conclusion as you're closing. For example, like, so everyone, and your single and lonely years by joining Toastmasters. Something like that. It can give like an even stronger conclusion for the audience. The last thing is that because this is an international space, right? So I believe that it's preferable that we are using English words. And if you really need to use it, you can give us like a translation before you go on and on and on and keep mentioning that word again and again, so that the audience won't get lost. And if you're doing it right, it can be like actually a really amazing thing. The fact that we're teaching our audience a new word in our language. I believe I've said what I need to say. So thank you so much. Back to RG.
Yay, thank you, Toastmaster Adelia, for providing not only our speaker, but to all of us tonight, an invaluable feedback so that we can improve better in the future. Okay, up next, we got our app counter. Toastmaster Ben, are you ready to deliver your report?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So,
Yep.
thank you very much, Mr. GE. One thing about the UG counter is that sometimes you keep on taking a tally and taking a tally and taking a tally, and then you repeat. Okay, what is the magic word that we had today? We had a lot of uhs, a lot of those, and we had a couple like elongated ands, like and so what happens is like you're sitting there, you're trying to, because and is one of those conjunctions you're trying to add to whatever you just said. And sometimes when we're trying to add, we don't know what we're adding yet. So that's one of those things you just gotta pause, right? End it with the sentence. A couple things that see, I've also. One of the things we do also, we try to get the audience to kind of agree with what we're saying. So we say like, you know, you know, you know. So we did that quite a bit. And let's see. And a couple like just elongated words in general, kind of going with the and then of course a lot of ums. So we have a lot of ums and ands. Now, usually some people you get there, we have a whole entire list of like who did what, who did this. I don't like to do that. We all make mistakes. We all did, even myself. So there's no reason to kind of point at it, but it's the idea is how do we learn from it? How do we get better? And what do we got to do? The solution is you got to take a pause. Just pause. When you're speaking, it's your floor. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, if you're doing tabletop, you got 2 minutes. Actually, you got 2.5 minutes. If you're have an actual prepared speech, you got 5 to 7 or longer, depending on what type of speech, or 4 to 6 for icebreaker. The time is yours. As the audience, we don't really know exactly what you're going to do. So just pause, collect your thoughts, and then kind of move on. That's how we get better at it. It takes a lot of practice. And even as an English speaker, a native English speaker, I don't always know what I'm going to say next week. So I still make mistakes. I'm still learning. And I'm a teacher. I stand up in front of kids all day, and I do a lot of ums and ahs all the time. So it's great. Keep practicing and be self-aware what your mistakes are. And then kind of like slap yourself a little bit. Not really. You know, in little rubber band, sometimes you snap yourself like, okay, that's an In some Toastmasters clubs, they do like a bell. Really strict, old school Toastmasters clubs. They ring a bell every time you do an Maybe we should start doing that a couple times a meeting, like maybe once a month. So the CT every time she goes, ding, ding, ding. All right. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ben, for providing us the necessary information, which I take notes that you reiterate the importance of having pause and also using a variety different of conjunctions, as well as remove any filler words that we have during our speech. And up next, I believe that we got our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Nettie. Are you ready to deliver your report?
Yes, I'm ready. Am I audible?
Yes, indeed you are. So the screen is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much for Toastmaster Jasmine who give me another idea. This is a new method in delivering the table topic session, which is you ask the participant can choose the same question and then they can answer it in a different perspective. That's really a great idea. And at the first time, you also describe the regulation in details, especially when you show the regulation as a slide that also help the audience to understand more about the regulation. Maybe need to be improved. The question can be simpler. Yes, I know the topic, the theme is quite challenging. It's quite stressful, maybe. Yes, quite difficult theme, mental health. But yeah, I think if the question can be simpler, the audience or the participants can be able to explore their answers with more relax and with more explanation. Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Jasmine, about that. Now, about the participant, Toastmaster Adelia, you answer, do you think all of us are not completely healthy? Well, you have the confidence to express your opinion. I like your spirit about it. However, you need to understand clearly the question before you answer it. We can see still you confuse a little bit at the beginning. But after that, you can manage. You can manage it, and then you can give the answer confidently. The next one, Toastmaster Rena. You can describe the answer according to the personal experience and you close it with a conclusion. That's really important to have a personal experience, yeah, because it will put more impression to the listeners. And however, I believe that if you can use your two hands instead of just only one hands, the audience who look at your speech can be more balanced. It's so not just only like this all the time, yeah, but you can use it, explore more with your two hands. Maybe like this one, yeah. Okay. Next, Toastmaster Ben. You can elaborate your personal experience with some information about mental health. That's really powerful because not just only the experience that you mention it, but you can elaborate it with the information, the fact about the mental health. However, maybe you can improve about the sitting position, not just only like this, but maybe you can stand up or make your body more straight. Okay. Toastmaster Apri, it was a good encouragement for all of us to have help to was it to always help in the for our mental. Now, because you are in the on site, I believe you can move little bit to the left or to the right. You can use the space there to make it more live. Toastmaster Aldo. You gave the example that Toastmaster Club can be a healer for a mental health. Well, that's really, I agree about that. Yeah, especially during the pandemic, 2 years, 3 years, yeah, in the pandemic. So we always do the online. So it will be very, it is very helpful for us to have a community, new community like this, the Toastmaster Club. Maybe need to be improved. Do not need to say thank you for the question. So in the beginning, you say that thank you, Toastmaster, for the question, because if you say that, it will consume your time. Toastmaster Sugiarto, you are trying to describe on each point. At that time, there are five numbers. I believe that you don't have enough time to describe all of those five, but you are trying to describe it with your experience as well. That's really good. Needs to be improved. You can use your vocal variety to improve the speech. Toastmaster Resita, I like your quote. Need to say no if the workload is impossible. Okay, that's really important. Now, things to be improved need to be more enthusiasm. Was it put more energy on your speech? Okay, so that's the evaluation. Maybe the one input when you do the table topic section, table topic speech. Number one, always have an introduction first before you go to the body of your answer. For the body, you can use your personal story, your personal experience, because it will put more impression to the listener. Then elaborate it, then close it strongly. Okay, so that's my evaluation. Back to GE.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Neri, for providing us with all the necessary lessons so that we can improve our next table topic section in the future. And up next, we got our next role taker, which is our grammarian. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, Toastmaster Resita, the screen is yours.
Okay, can you hear me clearly, by the way?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. I was about to, well, as usual, I was about to correct your grammar, but since all of us are Toastmaster member, actually, your English is, well, I cannot find any mistakes that make me cannot understand what your point was. So let's skip our grammar part because your mistakes your mistakes were quite common, which was forgetting to use verb to when you were saying about something in the past, or misplaced to be. That's common one, and usually you correct yourself when you made that mistake. So I will spare you this time. let's just let's correct our pronunciation instead, because our Indonesian tongue usually don't really are not really good at saying English words. Let's start. Okay, I will ask for your help for this. Let's start with our TM, Toastmaster Jasmine. Can you say this word? We're still muted, by the way.
Sorry, did you type the word identity?
No, it's F.
No, I'm now not reading what you've typed.
It's identify.
Oh, identify. Sorry.
Ah,
It's tiny on my screen. Identify.
good. That's the right way to pronounce it. Next, let's hear from Toastmaster Adele. Sorry, Adelia. We have to Adele here. Toastmaster Dea, can you unmute yourself first, please?
Yes, Master Aisita.
And here's your word. How to pronounce that?
Consulting.
Yes, consulting. Thank you, Toastmaster Dea. And let's hear from our native speaker, Toastmaster Ben. Can you
Different
tell us,
word?
can you tell us how to pronounce this word?
Yes. Urgent.
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 Thank you, Toastmaster Ben. And let's hear from our I think I will go with our speaker, Toastmaster Sugi. How to pronounce this word? Can you help me?
Okay, improve.
Good job. It's improve.
Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sugi. And that's our mispronunciation. Let's move on to our word of the day report. And I think Ben's idea is a good one. I think we have to maybe give a pause whenever someone use word of the day, because the only one that I quote using word of the day was Toastmaster Rena. Thank you, Toastmaster Rena. I myself forget to use it in my speech actually, so sorry for that. Okay, next one. I found words that I usually heard but don't really know actually what the meaning of it. The first one is audacity. Maybe if you are active in social media, you heard that quite a lot. Audacity means rude or disrespectful behavior. So next time you find it on your social media, remember that the word means rude or disrespectful behavior. And the next one is hinder, which means create difficulties for someone or something. And interesting quotes that I found during your speeches was the first one, sharing is caring. I thought not just one people said it. I remember hear this from Toastmaster Aplik. Next one is good boss is a good investment from Toastmaster Dea. She didn't say it though, she typed it in our chat box. And last one, it's quite long sentence, but I only like the very last part of it from Toastmaster Jasmine. We will be alright. So no matter what happens in your life, remember it's just temporary and eventually we will be alright. Thank you. Back to our GE.
Okay, thank you very much for the report by our grammarian. And I note a couple of things here from our grammarian, which is the use of our word of the day. And of course, thank you also for your vocabulary lessons, as well as the pronunciation, and of course the importance. You showcase the importance of using verb to, past tense, and all that stuff. And yeah, I think our next role is Timer. So perhaps Timer, can you show us your report?
Okay, so thank you, GE. For the report, I already typed it after each speakers deliver their speech in the chat box. So basically, everyone is inside the time allocation. A special note for Toastmaster Adelia and myself during the table topic session, because we were 1 second away from being overtime. And in the evaluation session, unfortunately, Toastmaster Adelia also overtime. Her timestamp is 3 minutes. Wait a minute. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. So I think we all here need to pay more attention to the time. Okay, that was all my report. Back to you, T.
Thank you, Timer, for keep tracking with all of the speakers' time and of course for your reminder so that us in the future can have a proper time management during our speech. Thank you. Lastly, of course, it will be my role as your general evaluator. First things first, I believe that the meeting start on time despite all of the inconveniences. And for those of us here on site, we actually already arrived like 1 hour early. However, unfortunately, because of the technological issues and all that stuff, it kind of hinder us from start the meeting earlier. And as a consequences of that, we did not, I would say, did not really or properly greet all of the Toastmasters that come because we're still kind of busy to set up the whole meeting. Nevertheless, it's still a doable meeting to have hybrid meeting, of course, notwithstanding that all of the hindrances that exist, the technological issue, it's still doable because we got 5 of us in here, and of course you guys online there. And I believe that it's still a proper meeting. And moving on towards the beginning of the meeting, I believe Tom already did well, provided us with the theme, the word of the day, and asking all of the participants about his or her opinion in regard towards our today's theme. And then I believe that the role takers explain the role properly so that all of us can track and understand what's the meeting is all about. And then jumping to table topic masters. Now, Toastmaster Jasmine, I think this is an interesting way, a fresh way to conduct a table topics. However, of course, because of the theme itself is tricky to navigate with, despite the importance that you're trying to raise here, I would like to reiterate Toastmaster Neti's point before because of the slides. It's a little bit long, so maybe in the future you can try to shorten it up a little bit so that all of the speakers can understand and respond to it properly. And the role takers, I believe that, we got only one speaker today as well. Thank you for that. Despite its icebreaker speech, I hope in the future of hybrid meetings, we can have 2 speakers at least. And then jumping to our role takers, I believe everyone already provided their reports properly, and most importantly, they provided us with such an invaluable lesson. So thank you for all the role takers, as well as the only evaluators today, Toastmaster Adelia, and our Akantor, TTE, and grammarian, as well as our timer, of course. And that'll be all from me. I think all in all, in sum, this is a good meeting, a productive one. Hopefully we can improve better in our next hybrid meeting. I guess that's all for me, and I would like to give the control back to Toastmaster Apri. Toastmaster Apri.
Thank you very much, our General Toastmaster Padut. That's really helpful explanation for you to make our meeting improve. So I think that is for the meeting for tonight. Before we end officially end the meeting, I would love to hear some feedback, some of you, especially if you're first time attending our meeting. And let's start from online participant here. We have, let's hear from Dea Adelia. Dea Adelia, are you here? Do you want to say something about this meeting?
Okay.
Okay.
Could you repeat again? So sorry.
How do you feel about this meeting? I believe you are first time attending Malang Toastmasters Club, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is so cheerful. The meeting is so cheerful, and I look that all member younger than others, others club. But it's so cheerful, I think.
Okay. Okay, that's all.
Pardon me.
That's all. Only cheerful and what?
Um. You said that my rules.
Pardon?
I don't hear your
Okay.
word.
Thank you for feedback. Yeah, for you. And I'm glad you are come here to our meeting for tonight. And yeah, I hope I can see you again in our future meeting and visit probably online or in the future we will begin to hybrid again. And also probably we have yes, yes. Adelia. Yeah, our past members, Malang Toastmasters Club, and she just come back here in Malang and visiting us directly. So, but here's something.
Hey everyone. It's been so long that I've come to a Toastmaster meeting, and I'm glad that I get to be here offline today. I was expecting a more bigger crowd, but luckily there's still several that those are here. I feel like the rest of the meeting I was kind of late, but it was going very smoothly, and I hope to see you guys in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, and maybe you don't really know that I also participated meeting via in person because before that we only do online meetings, so this is really exciting. We can meet face to face again. So I think start out for the meeting for tonight, and for announcement, our next meeting will be on October 20, which is 2 weeks from now, and probably it will be online. So we try to hybrid probably twice a month, once every 2 months if we have time. And also, if you have any announcement from your meeting, you can announce now. Really, from Eagle, you have announcement for your next meeting.
I'm from Surabaya
Oh,
Toastmaster
okay.
Club.
Yes.
Yeah. So the meeting of Surabaya Toastmaster Club is held every first week and third week in the month on Wednesday. So almost the same like Malang Toastmaster Club, but we are in on Wednesday. And and then also the hybrid meeting once a month, and the other meeting will be online. Maybe that's all. So hope you can visit our meeting next 2 weeks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster team, for your announcement. There any other announcement from another club?
Hello.
Okay.
The only one I have a hybrid meeting
Yeah.
on this Saturday, but in Jakarta though. If you have in Jakarta, you can contact the Ultimate Toastmaster Club, so you can join their meeting. There is any meeting announcement?
Yeah, I would like to announce our meeting. So I'm Resita from Eagle Toastmaster Club, and our meeting will be on Thursday, same like Malang Toastmaster, but we are on second and fourth Thursday every month. So next week, Toastmaster Jasmine, Toastmaster Sugi, I will have Muhammad Sultan and Hima here. Please pay us a visit in Eagle, and also please follow our Instagram on Eagle _Toastmaster. Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Rena. And that's from Eagle. Thank you. Back to Apri.
Okay, thank you for all your announcement. Now, I, as a president of the Toastmaster meeting, I officially open the meeting for tonight, and I would like to thank you for Toastmaster Jasmine to come to our meeting I held as a topic master, and Toastmaster Ben as a founder, and Toastmaster Rena and Resita from Eagle Toastmaster Club, and Toastmaster Neti and also Toastmaster Sugiarto, yeah, to helping our meeting for tonight. Now, as a co-president, I officially close the meeting for tonight. So before that, let's have a track picture together. Do we? Okay.